Have you ever really thought about how difficult it is to find silence? I mean, real silence? Our lives are surrounded by constant noise. Sometimes it's just a hum in the background, other times it's just a cacophony of sound that we don't actually need to hear, and that's only the external noise. I'd like to share a little bit today and encourage you about the importance of making silence a part of your day. I like to start my day in silence. I like to start with some meditation, be it riding my bike or just sitting or watering the garden, but it's a peaceful time that I'm purposefully quiet and just mindful of what I'm going to be doing during the day. It's a great way to start the day. I've really learned to value silence by practicing it and making it a part of my day every day. And even in conversation, I find silence is really important. We don't realize a lot of the time that we don't actually need to say anything or to respond. Quite often, it's just better to be silent and quiet, particularly in times of contentious situations when there's some tension, when there's a bit of emotion running high. It's really good just to take a step back and breathe and just be silent and consider whether it's necessary to answer, whether it's going to be beneficial to answer, or whether the best thing might be just to stay silent right now. And no matter how much sometimes the person that you're having a conversation with might want you to respond, sometimes a conversation doesn't actually require us to respond, that the best thing to do is just to be silent and to embrace it. Today, everything is so noisy, and our culture glorifies this noise. It glorifies the immediate and puts pressure on us to respond immediately, to be constantly communicating and constantly connected. I've chosen not to do that. I don't like living that way because I've learned to value the silence in my life and the silence in my mind as well. And so I'll take time out during the day, sometimes just for 30 seconds or a minute, just to breathe and focus on my breath and be silent. And I found that by embracing the silence and not being constantly available for responding or reacting, my life is more enjoyable. I'm more open to my subconscious. I'm more open to being inspired. I'm more open to feeling intuition when it comes. And this, of course, helps me to be more creative in everything that I'm doing. I think through this constant noise, this constant clamor for our attention, we've lost the ability to really concentrate, to really focus on what's important. And I find that being silent helps me to be able to do that. It helps me to focus. It helps me to come closer into what really matters. And there's nothing more powerful than being seriously focused on what you're doing and where your heart is, and particularly if you're being creative. And I've always loved photographing creative people when they're working, potters or painters or builders, people who are focused on creating something, on putting their whole heart, their whole passion into what they're doing, are wonderful to focus on and to photograph, because they are so focused, because they are then at peace and in their own world, in their own created silence. And it's in this place of silence that we can really begin to hear our own true voice. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about my wife's experience with silence during a 21-day retreat, you can check out this video next. Thanks very much for watching.